Welcome. I welcome you to the Zenith Energy virtual booth at the 5th Annual Energy and Mines Australian Summit. And I'm Doug Walker. I'm the Executive Chairman of Zenith Energy. I'd like to introduce you to my friend and colleague, Dominic Cruz, our Sustainable Solutions Lead. G'day, Dom.
G'day, Doug. Thanks.
Welcome. We really would want to talk about Zenith, talk about our enabler, being an enabler in the ESG environment through our power stations and the energy developments that we have throughout Australia and Asia. But firstly, I think it's worth noting that this is the 5th year that we've had this Energy and Mines Summit, and I've really got to hand it to Adrienne and Andrew and the team for the vision that they had 5 years ago. I know it started in Canada before that, but it's been an enabler in what we do as a sector, as an industry, and it's certainly looking from where we've come from to where we are today, and I'll talk about that a bit later in our presentation. It's just been a platform, a journey that we've been able to take together, and the whole industry and sector has lifted, and it's really pleasing to be part thereof of it. And thank you. I'd like to also introduce my green friend in the back here, which is one of our almost 60 Yambaka Series 6 generating sets that we have in our operations throughout Australia. We selected Yambaka early in our development. Why? Because it was one of the lowest emission gas generators that we evaluated during that period, and it is one of the most efficient gas generators on the market today. It's been a great journey, and of course that leads very much into the fact that we are heading in a zero carbon environment.
Absolutely. Doug, you're very right. One of the key purposes for Zenith is to be an enabler for ESG. It's very du jour at the moment, but it is key for the whole sector, for the mining sector as a whole, to be able to provide and deliver effectively green minerals to a market that is transitioning to where all products will be effectively zero carbon very quickly.
You're right, Dom, and this is not just about Zenith Energy. This is our sector. This is what we as a community, as a socially conscious company need to focus on. So let's look at those 3 points. Let's look at environment to start with. So what solutions are we currently being evaluated in terms of addressing the energy challenges for both our existing mines and mines coming on?
Yeah, so obviously people will be well aware of the intermittent renewables, such as solar and wind, yep. and they on a bulk scale will be critical to a solution. To supplement them, we are going to need long-term storage, and that'll be key, and that's been a key focus for Zenith, and particularly with our participation in the Electric Mines Consortium. We are the only IPP in the Electric Mines Consortium, and it does give light to the fact that that is part of our key purpose, to be an enabler for the sector. So long-term storage with intermittent large bulk scale renewables, and we are looking at green gases as a mechanism to accompany and supplement and be the redundancy on site to complement the storage and make sure we can provide maximum penetration and ultimately a zero carbon mine.
And that's what it's about. It's really interesting to note that I reflected 5 years ago when we had our first Energy and Mines Summit here in Perth. I vividly recall it was all about solar and small scale solar and so forth for the mining companies. And I've got to say, in this journey over the 5 years, us at Zenith Energy, we've got in excess of 250 megawatts of renewable, hybrid, zero emission energy either in our bids and negotiating or under construction. That's how far this has really taken the industry.
It's been a terrific ramp up, isn't it? And I think it's only going to get faster.
Well, it's certainly evidenced by what I've just stated. Moving on to our social responsibilities and also the amount of energy and so forth that we're producing, we have a social license to maintain.
Yeah, so we do, and our partners in the mining sector have a license to be able to contribute to the community. And electrons provide that ability. So again, we become an enabler. So to remove particulates from mine sites, particularly underground mine sites, to remove diesel through the electrification of the power system, as well as the fleets and the equipment being used, that's a key component where we are an enabler. Similarly, the associated communities where the mines exist, whether they be in an agricultural community
that's right.
or others, we can, going upstream, produce and facilitate a thriving economy for the ag sector by the production of green gases.
We embed ourselves in communities, so we have to give back to those communities. It has to be part of that community, and that's the one thing. Having been in this business for near on 40 years, the transition I've seen to where we are now is really, I mean, it for me, after 40 years, it's something that I'm really proud of as a sector, not just for myself personally, as a whole sector. And I see this enabler, we as being an enabler in the ESG environment, I think that's really critical element to our core business.
And there's a bit of a nexus there between the social and the environmental, because electrons can also provide potable water. So one of the solutions we are looking at in terms of technology is to be able to refill aquifers that are depleted, or provide mine sites that are desperate for water for various purposes with that resource.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, green minerals. I like it. The G of the ESG. Tell me about it.
Well, as we said at the start, the world is transitioning very quickly, where the products that it wants to consume, the buildings that it wants to build, will be zero carbon.
Correct.
Ultimately, the raw materials that go into those products need to be, the whole supply chain needs to be green and zero carbon. And it starts at the mine site, and ultimately the power that provides those minerals to be excavated and
to be produced,
to
manufactured. It's got to be zero carbon.
So ultimately, we are the start, and we are the enabler for ESG.
I see this as an emerging green zero carbon journey. This green minerals element of our ESG, and it's, as you say, it's a commodity based. It's manufacturing. Everything we're going to be producing, we've got to focus it on being zero carbon. I just wanted to reflect also on the fact that I'm very honoured to be chair of our company, and I've got to say that our board, the stewardship of our board, is right behind and promoting and enabling us as a company to focus and deliver on what we say in terms of being zero carbon over a short period of time, and that's what we're focused on. And it's really, again, it's the environment, it's our social licence to operate in this, and it's getting to that emerging green zero carbon journey on green minerals, as we're going to call it. So I hope everyone out there gets what we're saying. It's something that we're passionate about. It's something that we see ourselves as the ESG enabler in this sector. I hope we've tried to convey what our real passion, our real purpose here is for the whole industry, not just for Zenith Energy. And again, thank you, Adrienne, Andrew and the team. Great promotion, great event, great summit. And we look forward to many more of them. And if I could just extend an invitation to those who are looking at our presentation, happy to take a call, have a conversation, Dom or myself, anyone in our team. So thank you for your time. Thank you for logging on, and we look forward to seeing you again. Stay safe.